Welcome. How are you guys? Welcome to Wednesday meditation. Wednesday meditation is great for a number of reasons. And one of the reasons why it is so incredibly great is because you can just simply sit here. And how often do we get permission just to simply sit and do nothing? Sounds pretty good. But this sitting and doing nothing is actually incredibly productive activity. It's potentially one of the most productive activities we can ever come across. Not even if done correctly, but just simply if done at all. Because what we gain access to is the real conversation that is happening. The real one. Like what's going on inside there. Not the conversation which you have to have in order to maintain status quo or whatever it may be, but the actual conversation. And from the actual conversation, then we get an opportunity to begin to create right action. And right action does so much for an individual's life. So I have a question. And the question is, what's going on inside there? Oh boy. Really though, what is actually going on inside there? Is that what is going on inside creating tension? Is it creating noise and busyness? Is it creating disorientation, confusion? Or is what's happening inside of you totally balanced, equal, steady, clear? It's a pretty good question. And you can pose an answer whenever you want, or you do not have to at all. But the reason why I ask the question of what is really going on inside there is because it gives us access to something very real. And the reality is where the meditation continuously wants to take us, but in the most loving and sweet, kind way. It softens us into exploring our reality. It eases us into the challenges, but simultaneously, usually very quickly, dissolves those challenges from the perception of our mind. So that then when meditation is used consistently, the perception of what exudes a problem actually begins to shine as a solution. And the solution begins to build momentum. But maybe an even more pointed question to you is the famous question, why are you here? What brings you onto your meditation cushion today? What is it that you wish to receive from this time? And what amazes me with asking the question is most definitely you receive an answer. And in receiving an answer, you get this opportunity whether or not you're going to follow the language that you propose to yourself. And the reason why I bring it up is because the human mind is in an interesting looping system. You may notice that our conversations actually loop. I bring up the same topics over and over again from week to week. And the reason for that is because what is wanting to be realized is this tipping point. Not even as a collective, but as an individual tipping point over into the next place of the conversation. So as we butt up against these same questions, which potentially last a lifetime, that's the beauty of the question. Who are you? Why are you here? What is the activity and the content within the mind? We are actually beginning to develop a way to move through that, which is considered to be the denseness within the mind. And by denseness, I mean the place of your meditation where it no longer feels exciting, new, exploratory. Some places within your meditation, it feels a little bit dense, boring. You get tired. And immediately when you find those places, that's actually when the awareness work begins to come into play. So that's where our attention onto what the experience is within the meditation wants to brighten up a little bit. And really examine, well, what is there? But at face value, when we see what's there, it looks as boredom. Or it looks as though you're tired. But now the objective of a meditator is then to go deeper into that, beyond that, into the center of it, and see, okay, well, what is the cause of that symptom? And now the cause of the symptom is really where we want to begin to rest our weight into and begin to push outwards with it, to create space, which then develops a solution. Solution building. And I say it like this because one part of the process of meditation is very, very spiritual. Meaning that it doesn't even matter what's happening within your mind. That if you can sit within stillness, no matter what occurs from body and mind, and absorb yourself within a vibration, a level of consciousness, then this is considered to be an ultimate experience. It doesn't even matter what's going on, and you can just simply rest. So this is the spiritual side of the practice of meditation. You just simply bask in the beauty of what is that which you are receiving. The other part of the practice of meditation is a psychology. So it's the mind developing an understanding of itself and how it relates to its environment. Inner environment, outer environment. And how can then these two environments coexist while retaining everything which is integral and important to those environments? So if we look at the beginning of the conversation, when I asked, well, what's going on inside there? Many times we compromise for the sake of. And the compromise is generally not so noticed at the beginning. You just simply decide you have to do what you have to do, and you just keep doing it until it's done. But somewhere along the way, we get to a point where the compromise is so strong that we sort of lose sight as to who we are in relation to that which we're doing, or which we've been tasked to do. So the intelligence of the meditation is then to begin to pierce through the density of that and bring the self back into the experience or the task for the sake of the experiencer, which is you. So that quite literally, in an ideal world, your life becomes your meditation, no matter what it is that you're doing. And the way that it is able to do that is because you've gone down that path of your meditation so many times that you know exactly what to look for as you enter into deeper and deeper states of your mind, of your emotion, of your personality, and of yourself. Because these are the catching points, aren't they? The personality, the emotion, the thought, pulling us away into something we know that we don't necessarily want to do, or into a quality of space that we know we do not want to be in. So in there lies sweetness of your discipline. And it is that sweet, it's sweetness of your discipline. Because what it yields is a profound expression of who you are. Now, in order to develop the discipline is a psychology that you must apply unto yourself. But any science has to be established in some sort of proof, which then needs some sort of experiment. So you are the best experiment that could ever exist for this particular project. And I believe that you've proven it to yourself on some level, or else you wouldn't be sitting here right now. So the question then to me is then how to support in sustaining that experience which you feel is the proof that you needed in order to continue on with your meditation practice. And at this point of the conversation, I always refer to the friendship of your mind. No longer can the mind be your enemy. No longer can the mind be that one part of you which causes you so much trouble. Potentially, you will not ever master your mind in this life. It will continuously be a work in progress that you must stay on top of and maintain discipline with. And why that is because the mind is that agile. It's that expansive. And when I say expansive, I mean it is everything that you see with your eyes. It's a non-local experience. Your mind is the space between you and I. And you resonate a particular quality of space within the whole experience of the mind. But at certain times, when certain buttons are pressed, doors open or doors close. And that is what we want to develop an understanding around, is how then did this door open when I clearly stated that I no longer wanted to go there? Or how did this quality of space emerge from inside of me and I feel this way when I clearly stated I am finished with those states of being? Now, all of this is related to a relationship with oneself, with one's mind. And the only way to really relate to this mind that we have is to not say I am the mind experiencing my mind, but must be something different than the mind experiencing it. Or else how can you experience it if you are that? It's a simple related question, which again is continuously showing up in this conversation. And it's, who am I in relationship to my environment? So who are you in relationship to your body? Are you your body? And it's important to distinguish that. Because if you're able to observe it, are you that? And it's yes or no. And you just keep going back until you no longer have any explanation for that which you are experiencing. And if you can get to that place where you can no longer rationalize that which you are experiencing with a separateness, then we're actually getting close to defining the location with where this observer is existing. There is nothing there because it's in itself, enveloped within itself. And that deep relationship which occurs gives you the strength to go into the mind and its content, emotion, thought, personality, and begin to co-create. So this is the reality. The co-creation of the quality of space through mutual respect. So the systems of your body asks you to do specific things and asks you to abstain from specific things, and we just simply don't listen, or we listen sometimes and then not others. And in that nature, this is a disrespectful relationship. It's just not very nice. So if we can get to this place where we can become disciplined enough, this is the magical word, to relate from this deeper experience or this higher experience into that which we call the mind, and begin to respect the requests that occur, creating solid and clear boundaries, then we have a chance to see, well, what comes next? So now through that, what we've actually done is minimized a lot of the noise and turbulence that the mind produces. So that then when it comes time to sit in our meditation, it's much, much more quiet. Much quiet is there. And through your effort and your ease, balancing between the two of them, we get an opportunity to find the in-between space of the activity which is occurring within your mind. In between thought, in between emotion, in between your personality. And treat it quite literally as the observer. You are observing that which you are experiencing. So that whether your emotions go up or your emotions go down, you, the observer, maintains a steadiness. But remember that there's action involved. There's a kriya occurring. So this kriya concept within the yoga is a willingness to actually go through these funny little oscillations as the observer and decide that it's no longer needed. Well, then what is needed? Can you show me that which you emulate as being the ideal place for your mind to rest? The ideal settings for your being to completely come forward and out of its protective shell. The ideal expression of that highest functioning individual within society. Can you show that to me? Now, in a sense, this is brahmachari. This is living in the light of that expression which they consider to be highest forms of consciousness, or God, if you want to say that. So now, as you show it to me, then what must then occur in order to retain or maintain that particular frequency? Now that is the practice. That's the sadhana component. The practice of meditation is more so that than even the sitting and closing the eyes. The sitting and closing the eyes is simply releasing the tension, softening your being, taking you into deeper states of that which you already know what it is. You already know, that's the beauty. And firmly grounds you there so that then when you open your eyes, you can maintain it. Now that's the practice, maintaining it. Containing and maintaining the consistency throughout your day. What must happen in order to do that? Easier said than done? Maybe. But maybe we just don't bother saying it, and we just simply do it. That might be a turning point. Not even talking about it, just simply doing it. Not necessarily voicing, this is my new project for myself. I'm going to stick to this. Because immediately you've just put yourself up onto the pedestal, like 1 or 2 inches above everyone else, and saying, okay, I'm ready. Inevitably comes down. I'm sure you've noticed it. So instead, we just say nothing. And humbly and peacefully start to flex the inner muscles of discipline. So if at this moment in time you say to yourself, I like to drink wine, drink it. You like to eat whatever you want to eat, do it. But have that precursor underneath that when you say, I am finished with it, flex. Flex it. And honor that which you are asking from yourself. And I 100% guarantee that it will work. 100% guarantee. But now what's the challenge in the statement that I just made about 100% guarantee is that there's no knowing how much intensity exists inside of you until it begins to happen. But what is on my side for that statement is that I know that there is equivalent and much, much more peace and bliss, levels of tranquility that exists inside of you that you are able to access. And how we access it is not through some magical placement of your mind or organization of your brain. You first access it through breathing. So a very strong technique within the world of meditation is to feel with all of your senses your breathing. Which in fact influences the organization of your brain. And if that simple technique is repeated with the same quality of space over an extended period of time, it will simply stick. It will stay there. So that very literally, every time you inhale, you get that sensation of experience. Like this man sitting here is very peaceful. He's thinking very deeply about becoming a monastic. Like that's a big one. Guarantee you, one of the reasons why he's able to actually even think about putting himself into that position is because every time he takes an in and out breath, there's a peace. There is a calm. There is a tranquility. So this is where the beauty of discipline comes in. It's not about trying it and then it doesn't work and you say, it doesn't work. Because it's so chaotic. So imagine the chaos that you see is actually the content of the mind. Unattended to, who knows what will happen. Attended to, it's like mosquitoes at first. It's just like, so many mosquitoes. But seasons change, right? Where's the mosquito now? But winter's coming. But have you ever seen how beautiful winter is from the inside? Looking out. It's gorgeous. So you are the observer inside looking out into the winter. Saying, this is really amazing. And we actually have to laugh. We have to be lighthearted. We must not be so serious with ourselves because it's ridiculous what you put up with. In a given day, it's ridiculous. It's comical. So there's an element of surrender involved. You're actually going through what you're going through because you are going through it. You're already going through it. You're already experiencing it. So therefore, there's not much you can do about that. Because it's happening and you have the running commentary about it. But what can happen is the interruption, and that interruption is so forever sweet as meditation. So you are deep inside yourself. That's where you exist, deep inside. You're not your body, you are not your mind, you're not anything that anyone attempts to inflict upon you or what society says you can or cannot do. You're nothing of that. You're just simply sitting and experiencing. So now in the East, they talk about karma. So they say you are experiencing this because of karma, because of past life engagements that occurred, that now you have this position in your life. And I'm telling you that you are greatly positioned. You have food, you have shelter, you have clean water. You're actually taking on a practice of meditation, which in order to do that, your karma is already very good because you have the space in your mind to take it on. So you're winning already. But there's still some stuff that you have to work through. So with this discipline is also surrender. The sweetness of surrender that you are not perfect. That, there's some stuff that you got to work on. But hey, who doesn't have that? So to surrender is then to become honest. To become honest is then to say, I must heal. On one level or another, you're healing. And to admit the fact to yourself that there is a part of you that must heal is then to let it in, to let the healing happen. I mean, you are attracted to a yoga practice that the entire mandate of yoga is to heal. Meaning that working with the imperfections and developing them into the perfection which you feel. Taking the mind and setting it on course to the image that you see, the true image that you see that you are, and making it a reality. What exists between your present moment and that which you understand is the truth of your destination is everything that you work through in your life. But through surrender and just a little bit of discipline, even 5 minutes a day, all that which you go through becomes like pillows. So all of the intensity becomes light and fluffy. The burden no longer is a burden because you're engaged in a activity which is deeper, higher, and more meaningful to you than that which you're working on. And that's the insulation, the buffer of where you are looking out into winter. It snows, you must wear boots. This is just the reality. Insulate your feet, you'll stay warm. So if you're standing in the rawness and realness of your mind and you're getting tired of everything hitting you so hard, then just come inside. How do I do that? Well, first, get comfortable. This man is very comfortable sitting here. Many people are very comfortable sitting here. And comfort is a huge key. Because to develop comfort within your body is then to stimulate relaxation. That's the first step to relaxation. But to become comfortable lends to so many avenues within your daily life. To become comfortable in every moment as it's occurring. Imagine every conversation you're comfortable. But to get to comfort, what does it take? A softening, a surrender, and a bit of discipline with yourself. Each time you develop tension within your body, your mandate is to relax. Each time you develop tension, you just simply surrender. Tension, surrender. Tension, surrender. And the conversation begins. What produced that tension? The mind shows you an image. So you're slowing it down, right? Making this whole world your ashram. What produced the tension? The conversation produced the tension. No, the conversation was the catalyst to that which exists somewhere inside your mind. So what is that? Not to relive it, but to be aware that, what is that? And then surrender it. You might not ever even know, but it just keeps getting better. Or you may be that person who it just stares at you with two eyes and says, this is who I am. And in that moment, you know, and because you know that you know, then you can just simply let it go. Any questions or comments? Might take a moment. Well, this means that we've had a very concise conversation. So let's close the eyes. And I'd like you to be comfortable, which means if you must lean up against the wall or allow your shoulders to round a little bit, leaning the head down slightly until your body gets comfortable, totally fine. Even if you decide you must lie flat, this is a-okay. But then from that starting point, begin to apply discipline. The entry point into your meditation, into the meditation technique, is comfort. Soften your attention. Give responsibility to your body to teach your mind how to relax. Watch how space opens up within the body through relaxation. And you are able to breathe into that space. Filling that space with a bliss-like sensation that comes through your breath. It does not matter the content of the mind. What matters is where you place your attention. Place your attention into the space between thought. And allow that consciousness to grow. To be prolonged and eventually sustained. Uninterrupted quality of space. Soften into the relaxation. Even if it's a very small amount of relaxation inside of you, soften into it and let it grow. The relaxation of the mind, the relaxation of the body. And have your breathing rhythm be the communicator between the body and mind and the quality of space of relaxation. Maintain the quality of space of your mind by steadying the gaze. Keeping the eyes closed, bring full deep breaths into the body. Keeping the eyes closed, bring your gaze into the space just there in front of you. And what that means is that you are maintaining the integrity of the space, uninterrupted by any other thought, which includes any dialogue that you may hear. And we want our attention, our concentration to be completely absorbed within the space that you see and feel with all of your senses. Starting now. Keeping the eyes closed, soften the gaze. Very gently, without rushing, allow the eyes to open. So now us engaging in maintaining a quality of space uninterrupted is really a flexing of your inner muscle. You make a decision and you maintain to a resolve that there is no interruption occurring. And that quality of space that is maintained is the reminder of your destination point, where you're going, to this pristine experience of everything occurring without anything needing to happen. And as we remind ourselves again and again and again and again and again and again and again of the destination, we are engaging on setting the path, orientating ourselves. The compass is going that way. And it's true. And it really works. The only reason why I know that it works is because I've established that meditative path for myself. I know that it works without a shadow of a doubt. I definitely would not be sitting here if there was a hesitation. And of course, that being said, if you want to see if it truly works, you also have to develop that meditative path for yourself. Anyone can give you immense amounts of support. But what it comes down to is you deciding and then invoking that sweet discipline. And remember, it's so sweet to prove to yourself that it is truly happening. And the easiest way to establish the meditative path is through frequency. Frequently sitting. Micro meditations, 2-3 minutes long throughout the day. Maybe you have a larger meditation during the morning time, and then it's your practice to maintain that. So when you feel when the mind begins to do all kinds of things, sit, close your eyes, 1 minute, maintain the quality of space. You just simply flex. Flex it. It's not creating tension and it's not suppression. It's defining the boundary with the mind. So remember, this is healthy communication or relationship with your mind. So as much as you're honoring what the senses, internal expressions are asking of you, same thing, the mind must do the same thing. So we flex, maintain quality of space. But this flexing becomes stronger, meaning the more you flex it, the stronger it gets, the more sustained it is. So now this reality of your inner looking out as the observer becomes very, very true, and this quality of space is uninterrupted. So micro meditations, 1 minute long throughout the day, with larger sit whenever you have time. Integrate it, make it a part of who you are. If you like to dance, then dance through your meditation, literally dance, feeling that vibration. If you like to read, read with your meditation. If you like to chant, well, chanting is a form of meditation. If you like to sit up in front of a group of people and talk, well, then make that your meditation. Whatever it is that you do, make this your meditation. And you already have the support. Every Wednesday, we're here. Sit down and do nothing. Listen, ask a question, don't ask a question, and then formally have your meditation in a group setting, which increases your ability. It really does, because everyone is point at the same time. It's a meditation, which then bolsters your effort. Keep doing that every week, it gets stronger. In no time, your meditation will be taking you places. You'll be able to no longer be bothered by that which was bothering you. All of a sudden you become the calmest person in the room, but also the most exciting, potentially, at the party. Truth. Any questions or comments?
How do you find a very comfortable pose for yourself? You just experiment and you want to keep trying to find one?
Usually it revolves around the height of your pelvis to the relation to your knee. So the higher your pelvis, generally the more comfortable you are, and also the more relaxed your legs can become. A lot of times there's an element of discomfort that you'll just have to go through as the muscle tissue is strengthening and the tension is releasing from that tissue. And that is kind of a normal thing. But generally we need some aid, so whether that be up onto a cushion or some low back support will make a huge difference. So that which is your challenge, giggle. Because it's happening actually in that moment anyway. I mean, you can cry and you can do all the rest, but somewhere in there, just laugh. Because it's already happened. And then what are we going to do with that? Right? Because if you work with this karma thing, well, it makes life a little bit easier, really, because it's already occurring. And now we can just do our best. And we'll see you next time. See you. Thank you very much, everyone. Namaste. Enjoy the evening. Enjoy your meditation. I'll see you next Wednesday, if not sooner. I've been teaching actually Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday with Miss Jade. It's been fun. So if you want to catch a physical class with me, Tuesday, Wednesday, generally Thursday, 5:45. It's a serious shakedown party. Mm-hmm. Right, Jade? Yeah. And then it is definitely now. And then on Wednesday, we have our Sanskrit expert. I don't know if you guys knew, but Yaro's our Sanskrit scholar. And he assists on Wednesday. So he'll whisper sweet Sanskrit nothings in your ear. You won't know what he's saying, but you'll love it. It's great. See, meditation makes you funny. I am really a byproduct of meditation because I've had a meditation since I was 5 years old. So this is what happens to you. Yeah. Or some variation or iteration of coming specifically from you. Okay, enjoy. Thank you. Have a great night.